Aurelius, the last of the great pagans and the forgotten sage of Carthage. His life spanned 270 years, from 350 BC to 60 BC, a period that saw the rise and fall of mighty empires, the clash of cultures, and the birth of new religions. Yet Aurelius remains shrouded in mystery, his story lost to the sands of time until now. Join us as we delve into the archives and uncover the life, teachings, and legacy of this enigmatic sage. Prepare to be amazed by his philosophy, shocked by his deeds, and inspired by his enduring spirit. You won't want to miss this. His father was a Greek merchant from Athens who traded in wine and olive oil, while his mother was a native Carthaginian woman from a noble family. His early life was marked by tragedy when his parents perished in an earthquake that shook the city. As a young man, he traveled extensively throughout the Mediterranean, studying philosophy and collecting knowledge like a sponge soaks up water. He learned from the best ancient philosophers, soaking up their wisdom and insights. His travels took him to the far-flung corners of the known world, from the bustling markets of Athens to the sun-drenched shores of Alexandria. But it was in Carthage that he really made his mark. He founded a school of philosophy in the city, which soon became one of the most respected centers of learning in the ancient world. Students from all over flocked to Carthage to study under Aurelius, eager to learn his unique brand of Stoicism. This school would become the cradle of one of the most influential philosophical movements in history. In a society that worshipped wealth and power, Aurelius stood out as a beacon of simplicity and humility. He lived a life of austerity, shunning the luxuries and comforts that many of his wealthy students enjoyed. This didn't make him any less effective as a teacher, however, as his students were drawn to his genuine passion for learning and his unwavering commitment to the pursuit of wisdom. One student in particular, the young Roman senator Cato, would go on to become one of the most famous proponents of Stoicism, adopting Aurelius's teachings and adapting them to fit the needs of the Roman world. In fact, much of what we know about Aurelius comes from Cato's writings, though these accounts are often filtered through the lens of Cato's own beliefs and biases. Aurelius's approach to philosophy was deeply influenced by his personal experiences, particularly the tragedies he endured in his early life. When his parents died in the earthquake, he was left alone and vulnerable in a world that seemed indifferent to his suffering. This experience shaped his worldview and fueled his desire to understand the nature of life, death, and the human condition. He sought answers from the philosophers of his day, but ultimately found them wanting. So he forged his own path, developing a brand of Stoicism that was both deeply personal and universally applicable. One of the central tenets of Aurelius' philosophy was the importance of accepting and embracing whatever life throws your way. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to a life of misery or passivity, but rather learning to find meaning and purpose in every situation, no matter how difficult. For Aurelius, this meant embracing the present moment and making the most of whatever circumstances he found himself in. He taught his students to do the same, encouraging them to focus on what they could control and let go of what they couldn't. This approach to life wasn't just a theoretical exercise for Aurelius. He put it into practice every day, even when faced with the most trying of circumstances. One story that has been passed down from student to teacher is Aurelius' response to the destruction of Carthage by the Romans in 146 BC. When the city was sacked and his home was burned to the ground, Aurelius didn't despair. Instead, he picked himself up and started anew, continuing to teach and inspire his students even in the face of such a devastating setback. Another key aspect of Aurelius' philosophy was his emphasis on the interconnectedness of all things. He believed that everything in the universe was part of a greater whole and that our actions had ripple effects that reached far beyond ourselves. This perspective led him to adopt a vegetarian diet, as he felt that eating meat was a form of violence against other living beings. He also believed that the pursuit of wisdom was a lifelong journey that required constant self-reflection and improvement. He encouraged his students to engage in regular self-examination, asking themselves whether they were becoming better people and living according to their true nature. While Aurelius's philosophy was deeply personal and inward-looking, he wasn't a reclusive hermit. He was deeply involved in the political and cultural life of Carthage and was even appointed to the city's highest council, the Senate. Here he used his influence to promote his brand of Stoicism, advocating for justice, equality, and compassion for all. He was unafraid to speak truth to power and often clashed with his fellow senators who he felt were acting in their own self-interest. His commitment to public service was unwavering, and he continued to serve the people of Carthage even after the city was destroyed. In the aftermath of the sack of Carthage, Aurelius and his students fled to the nearby city of Utica. There, he continued to teach and write, pouring his wisdom and experience into a series of books that became known as the Carthago Fatua, or the Cretan Way. These writings were deeply influential, spreading the teachings of Stoicism to a wider audience and inspiring future generations of philosophers. But Aurelius's impact on the ancient world went beyond the realm of philosophy. He was a pioneer in the field of medicine too, and made significant contributions to our understanding of human anatomy and physiology. While there's little evidence to support this claim, some sources say he was the first person to dissect a human body, a groundbreaking achievement that paved the way for future medical advancements. This act of daring and innovation is just one example of Aurelius's commitment to pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and understanding. He wasn't content with accepting the status quo or letting tradition stand in the way of progress. His willingness to challenge conventional thinking and explore new ideas is a testament to his intellectual curiosity and his desire to make a positive impact on the world. As the years passed, Aurelius's reputation as a philosopher, teacher, and healer grew. He was revered as a sage, a wise and enlightened being whose insights and guidance could help others navigate the complexities of life and find their place in the cosmos. But despite the adulation of his students and the respect of his peers, Aurelius remained humble and grounded. He never forgot the struggles he had endured in his early life and was deeply aware of the challenges that his students faced. He was a champion of the underdog, a tireless advocate for those who were marginalized and misunderstood. He believed that everyone had the potential for greatness and that it was his job as a teacher to help them realize that potential. Sadly, the exact circumstances surrounding Aurelius's death are lost to history. We don't know when he died or where he was buried, but his legacy lived on through his students and their students long after he was gone. The influence of Aurelius can be seen in the works of later Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, as well as in the broader development of philosophical thought. His emphasis on the importance of living a virtuous life in accordance with nature and his belief that happiness could be found in the present moment continue to resonate with people today. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, Aurelius's teachings offer a source of comfort and clarity. His life story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and wisdom can prevail. And what about you? What do you admire most about Aurelius? His courage, his resilience, or his dedication to teaching? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's discuss his incredible life. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and stay tuned for more captivating stories from history's forgotten figures. Your support means everything to us and keeps us motivated to bring you the best possible content. Thanks for watching. Until next time.